Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's next platform basics session, fundamentals of reviews. So just before we go in and start introducing ourselves today, just a few housekeeping items as usual, in case you haven't joined one of our sessions before. But you are muted for the entirety of today's session. On the bottom panel of your screen, you should see a little box with a question mark in it and a little label Q&A. Should you have any questions throughout the entirety of the session whilst myself and Martina are presenting, please submit your question directly there and we can monitor those. But of course, as usual, we will save some time, of course, at the end of the session to go through some questions. As usual, we do also would like this session to be a bit more interactive. So we do have some polls and some little knowledge check quizzes. So would love your engagement here as well. And of course, thank you as well for joining us today and for taking the time out of your day for today's session focused on customer reviews. So let's start by introducing ourselves. My name is Ashley. I am based in Berlin, originally from the UK, been at Yext for 6.5 years. My role at Yext is basically I lead what we call concierge services here at Yext. That is a team that looks after our customers who would like personalized training dedicated towards them. But what I also do is I run webinars like this today, which are more general kind of sessions. My role here is basically just to ensure that you are set up for success, enabled on the tool, you know what you need to do within the tool specifically, and also, of course, that you're seeing value from the tool and you're adopting the features that you have access to. So it's lovely to meet you all. Martina, over to you.
Thank you so much, Ash. Hi, everyone. My name is Martina. I'm based in London, and I'm part of the training and enablement team at Yext. And my role is all about creating content for our clients around the world in different languages. So I'm native Italian, but I speak different languages. And yeah, I work closely with Ash to provide you with all the support you need, any type of webinar, training session, material and content to get the most out of Yext. And moving on.
Thank you, Martina. So as usual, we have 3 objectives for today's session. So by the end of today's webinar, about an hour or so, you will be able to describe what information is tracked, particularly with regards to Yext reviews, thinking about keywords, okay? Next is you will know how to respond to reviews in the Yext tool using a feature called Generative AI Response. And Martina is going to show you how you can set this up later in the session. And then lastly, I'm going to show you the sentiment analysis tool. Sentiment analysis allows you basically to track those keywords, okay, that are being used and submitted in those reviews to basically see how your business is performing and relate those keywords back to certain what we call sentiment or feelings, whether it's positive or negative. So as usual, we have a poll for all of you. So we can't speak to every single one of you today, unfortunately, but we would like to get to know you a little bit more. So I do have a question for you. I'm just going to pull it up on my screen. Here we go. Question number 1, as you can see, we want to know, have you used the Yext tool before? It gives us a better understanding of you, of our audience. This is obviously a platform basics session. So we're going to be starting with the basics. So if you haven't used it before, not a problem, but we'd just like to get to know you. And I see 100% of you have answered. This is fantastic. Love to see this engagement, everyone. So I'm going to end this poll now so you can all see. We can see that 88% of you, so actually the majority of you, we've got 8 people with us today. 7 out of the 8 of you haven't used it before. 1 of you has. Okay, so not a problem. Thank you. We're going to do a few more of these polls as well throughout the entirety of today's session. So thank you, everyone, for, I need to stop sharing the poll. Sorry, everyone, there's so many buttons here on my screen. So, okay, let's start then with the basics. Okay, so Hello, Martina. I'm back. Sorry,
Yeah, we
everyone.
lost you. I
Zoom
thought it was
literally,
my
no, Zoom just
connection, but no.
kicked me out of this. I have no idea why, everyone. I'm so sorry. Zoom was like, no, just kick me out. I mean, I've got great internet here, and yeah, sorry, everyone. Don't know what happened there. Technical, technical issues happen.
It can happen.
Anyway, what was the last thing you heard, Martina? What was the last
Let's
thing?
start from the beginning. So from
Okay,
what it's a review then.
sure. Okay, let's start from the beginning. So, back to the definition of a customer review then. I mean, I think everyone here is fully aware of a customer review. To keep it simple, right? A review is an organic summary which also includes a rating, a star rating of a customer's experience with your specific brand. And these reviews can be published on third-party sites. So you can see a few examples of these at the bottom of your screen. See, Google is a big one. Facebook is a big one. Facebook offer recommendations, so recommended or not recommended, whereas Google offers the traditional star rating. So we can also have what we call first party reviews. So first party reviews are where you have basically proactively reached out to your customers and asked them to submit a review. But they're not on a third party site like Google, they're via a direct channel. So this could be, for example, via SMS or an email campaign. And then you're able to actually present that customer's feedback on potentially your website. So really in today's digital world, reviews play such a crucial role in shaping brand perception, but also influencing purchasing decisions. So customers really rely on them to decide potentially where to shop, what to buy, who to trust. Okay. So we now live in a world where customer reviews are a lot more public, okay, and they count. And managing them effectively has become an essential part of any brand's business strategy. So we have another question for you before we move on. And I just realized I'm charging my headset, which is this wire is really annoying me. Okay, so we want to know, as you can see on the screen, do you read online reviews before spending money? So I'm going to put the next poll up here. Where are the polls? Martina, I've lost the polls. You're going to have to do the polls.
Give
It's
me
like
a
Zoom has, yeah, kicked me out and I've lost the polls. So everyone, when you work in tech, something always goes wrong, as you're clearly noticing here today.
Do you see it now, right?
We don't yet know. It might be down at the bottom on the more option. Maybe we should just move on, Martina, because I'm just conscious of time. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, everyone. Let's continue. Okay. What I would say though is I myself, I 100% read reviews before I go to a restaurant, book a hotel. I always look at what people have said recently. What about you, Martina? Do you also do the same? Do you read the reviews before you go to a business or make a
Always,
purchase or spend money? Always?
always for
Yeah.
restaurants, hotel, bar. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Have you ever planned to go somewhere and then saw some reviews and been like, oh no, I don't actually want to go there anymore?
Yeah, when the star are below 4, I doubt a lot. So yeah.
Below 4, hard to impress. Okay,
Yes,
like it.
are the
Cool. Okay.
customer.
So everyone, sorry about that. We'll continue. So we have some statistics that we want to show to you today. So before we jump into the Yext Review solution, we're gonna show you here some statistics. So we were hoping with today's poll that everyone would vote, yes, we read the reviews. But we do have some facts here that we've pulled from the source of 99firms.com at the bottom. So they reported that 9 out of 10 customers read online reviews. before spending money, right? Me and Martina have just confirmed we also do the same. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you also do the same. Next one is 47% of customers post reviews each month after visiting a business. Okay, so nearly half. Then customers claim that they are ready to spend 30% more on a product if it has excellent reviews. I mean, fair. 94% of customers avoid a business due to negative reviews. But what I would say here, just to kind of preface as well, don't be worried or scared of negative reviews. In fact, use this as an opportunity to engage with the customer instead of ignoring them. And more details on this later. And then here, the last one we've got for you, this leads nicely into this. 63% of customers never hear back after leaving a review, on a brand's, listings or their website or wherever it could be. So before we dive into why reviews are so impactful, let's quickly clarify the different types of reviews that you will come across. So firstly, there's first party or third party reviews. I kind of alluded to this already. First party reviews are collected directly through your business. Okay, so either through your own website, an app, SMS campaign, email campaign, you own the content and you can choose where to display it. There's also third-party reviews. So these are left on sites such as Google, Facebook, TripAdvisor, if we've got any hospitality kind of customers with us today. Trustpilot as well is a big one. You don't own the actual review content there because it's on the third-party site, but you can monitor and respond as well to those specific reviews. Now, the next one is the kind of type, yeah, okay. Here, so reviews can either be location, so they're reviewing a specific location, a physical place. Could be a certain restaurant, a certain store. Reviews could also just generally be related to your brand and reflect sentiment towards the actual brand itself, okay? And then the last one is product. So reviews can also be related to individual products. I bought this hoodie. The hoodie is fantastic. It's comfy. I love it, for example. And then the last one is organic versus generated. So customers leave organic reviews on their own without being prompted. Okay. Generated is where you have then proactively gone to your customers and asked them to submit a review about their specific experience. And this can be done, via, like I said, by email, SMS, etc. So understanding these distinctions helps us to see how reviews influence visibility, trust, and insights, which we'll cover next.
Ash, do you want me to
Yes.
launch the poll that now is available and the second knowledge quiz?
Okay, let's do the poll. Let's do a
Yeah,
quick poll then to see who actually does, read
you should
reviews
see it now, right? Yeah,
before they
okay.
make a decision. Yes, we see it now. So, okay, do you read online reviews before of a business before spending money? Let's see. Or
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, yeah, if you can end and share the results, I mean,
Yeah.
100% of you have said yeah, right? Agreed with me and Martina. It's super, super important. We're all looking at reviews nowadays. We're all reading what people are saying about a specific brand or business. And then let's do the first knowledge check, Martina.
Yes. So let me take it. So it should be, you should see it now appearing.
Yes. So this is our first knowledge check. Which of the following is an example of a first party review? Is it a customer review on Google, a customer review on TripAdvisor, or a customer review directly to your brand through an owned channel such as a website, email, or SMS? I'm also now seeing the polls button on my dashboard, Martinez. This is great. Don't know what
Okay.
happened there. Technical bugs happen all the time.
Yeah.
We're back, everyone. We're back. We're saved. Thank God.
Okay. Should be.
Let's see the results and show the correct answer. The majority of you got this right. Exactly. So a first party review is where it's where you've proactively shared that. Okay. You've got some kind of, channel where you're able to collect feedback and then you're able to present that directly on your website, for example. Thank you, Martina, for that. So we've got more little knowledge checks as we go on. So introducing the Yext Reviews then. So we've developed a tool to help you collect all of the information from the reviews in order to basically improve and monitor your brand, okay, and the reputation. So the Yext Reviews solution is basically designed to help you manage, respond to, and analyze the feedback all in one specific place from multiple different sources. Okay. So instead of having to jump to Google and then log into Facebook and then, I don't know, TripAdvisor or Trustpilot, you can bring all of those reviews together in one place for you to see. So there's three core capabilities. First one is monitor. So see reviews across the web in one single dashboard. Quickly respond to customer feedback, maintaining consistency and tone across every platform. And then the last one really is you're able to extract insights. So you can see, the average review rating over time. You can look at it on certain location level. You can use sentiment analysis to identify trends, spot areas for improvement. All of these different things you can do specifically with also the insights section. So this is how you can basically improve your brand's perception, on not just a certain location level, but across a more wider area. So Martina's going to show you this in the demo, but there's the review monitoring tool. So this is where you're able to just basically monitor all of that customer feedback from those different sources. Okay. We then also have another tab called the response tab. So the response section shows you all reviews that are awaiting a response. Okay. So responding to customer reviews show that you value their feedback. Yeah, you care about their opinion. You might not necessarily agree with it, but you care about their opinion and you want to improve their future experience should they, have submitted a negative comment. So this really increases customer trust, encourages loyalty, and can obviously strengthen your brand's reputation, because what we always say as well to our different customers and brands we work with is, if you're reading reviews, you can also see how that business responds to those reviews as well. Super, super important. Your responses are also public. Okay. So through the dashboard, sorry, can you just go back a second? I just want to clarify just the three ways that everyone can respond. Yes, perfect. So there's three ways you can respond to reviews via Yext. First way is either free text. So you just type in, your own response. There's you can do basically automated responses via templates. So you have to set up those templates. Templates are fine. They're a bit more productive and efficient, but it's basically saying potentially the same thing to multiple reviews. You don't want to sound repetitive. But the third one, which is what Martina's going to show you today, is with the AI generative response feature. Okay, so I don't want to steal your limelight, Martina, by showing how cool that tool is, because you're going to do this later. So, before I hand over to Martina here, the last thing really is kind of alluded to this as well, but you're able to analyze that review content with the overview insights and also in the analytics section that Yext provides. So you can see, like I mentioned, the average rating, so the average star rating, number of reviews, response rate, the average response time, the site distribution, where are the majority of your customers submitting reviews, and also the keyword sentiment. Okay, so you're able to see, what keywords are being received as more positive or what's being received as more negative. Just so you know, okay, just want to explain this as well. We recommend to respond to 100% of reviews. Yes, 100% of reviews. If you've got reviews from maybe, half a year to, longer than a half a year ago, leave it. It's a bit outdated, but everything now that you're receiving, respond to 100% of the time. And we also recommend to respond within 48 hours. Negative reviews, even quicker, respond within 24 hours to those negative reviews. We even recommend to respond to reviews that are just a star rating potentially and don't have a comment. You can say, hey, thank you for your great rating. We really appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. So, Martina, I think I'm going to hand over to you now for the first demo.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ash. So, every time you want to have a better understanding of your customer feedback, as Ashley mentioned, we provide you with a tool called Reviews, which allows you to have concentrated all the reviews in one single platform. So you just need to log into your platform, and on the left-hand side, you will find the Review tab. And under the Review tab, you will find different sub-tab. So you have two possibilities. The first one, if you purchase the reviews monitoring license, you will see here the overview, monitoring, insights, Q&A, and user photo. If you purchase the response license, you will get access to response and sentiment analysis that we'll see later on. So for this training, we created this account. So be aware that, of course, the data you'll see here are coming from our training account for this specific webinar, while in your case, you will have your own data, of course. So clicking on monitoring, we said that the idea of this tool is provide you with an insightful tool to monitor what customers said about your brand and to have them all into one single place. So it's for you, it's useful in terms of energy and time because you can see them all in here and you can track the trends. So in the monitoring tab, you have at the beginning, at the top, you have the hero number. So you see, for example, a total number of review, the recommended via Facebook, the average rating, the stars, you see the division per star. And going down, you have all the reviews. So the one you see here are listed below. You will have the date. Be aware that this date is the American time. So it's September the 3rd, 2025, and you have the hour. And this is the day when the reviewer originally did the review. What does that mean? That imagine this reviewer, Candice, is changing and editing the review. This won't affect the date and time because we will always display the original one. So the first time the review was created. You see the site is the publisher. So if we scroll down, you see that we have other publisher like Facebook. This is an American publisher called Yelp. So you will see here the publisher, the rating, the review with the name of the publisher, the name of the reviewer, the time, the date, sorry, and the review itself. In the column response, you have two options. So in this case, you see we have some blank space or some empty space. This means that for this review, nobody responded. So this review need to be addressed. While if you responded to a review, you will see the response in this column. So it's very easy for you to track and to see what type of reviews you need to respond. And then you have the entity, which it means for this review, like this review is talking about which type of entity, and this is the entity. You see some information related to the entity. And then you have the status, which is live. It means that this review is available. In case this review is not available, it means that the reviewer deleted the review. You will see here removed. As you probably know, it's very difficult to remove reviews. You cannot delete reviews. It's very difficult. The only case is when the review is not respecting some guidelines, for example, Google guidelines or policies, or if the reviewer itself is deleting, so removing the review. What I wanted to call out as well, at the top of your dashboard, you have some filter. And let me maybe here you see better. So in this filter, it allows you to basically narrow down your search and check, for example, for which entities you want to check. In this case, we have the total number of reviews for your brand. But imagine you want to check a specific location. You can narrow down and select different entities. You click on apply and you will have the review only related to the entity you select. I can clear out again. You have the review date. So you can, for example, take a period of time and you want to compare 3 months. So you can select from, I don't know, June till September, or you can apply specific dates. For example, last week, and you select the week. You can check the site, which it means on which publisher. So if I click on Facebook, for example, I'll see only the review available on Facebook. You see here. You can select depending on rating. So for example, equal or less than equal to 2 stars. So I know that for sure these customers are frustrated. They are providing for negative feedback and you really need to know what's going on. So we highly recommend to explore the filter. You can click on add filter if you want to be more specific, and you can select the entity. You can put again some dates. You can use many filters all together and you can narrow down your search. If you purchase the response license, you can click on response. And in this case, the main difference, you will see the dashboard, it's quite similar to the one we just saw in the monitoring tab. The main difference, as Ashley mentioned previously, is that in the monitoring tab, you have all the reviews together, while in the response, you will have only the reviews that haven't been addressed yet. So the one that really needs to have a response. And we mentioned earlier, we highly recommend to respond within 48 hours, and for the negative one, even before if you can. Even for those reviews that don't really have comments and they have only 5-star reviews, it's highly appreciated if you can simply message something very easy, like, thank you so much for your review. We highly appreciate it. It's really valuable for us. Customer really like to be addressed, and they feel that they are, you value their feedback. So in the response rate, in the response tab, you have the euro number again. So the number of reviews, the recommended in Facebook, some other insight. And if we scroll down, you have a similar dashboard where you have the date, the publisher, the review, and of course in the response tab you won't have anything in it. It will be blank, and this is because here you are sure that you need to respond to these reviews. When I wanted to call out, it's two different things. If you want to respond, you can either assign the task to someone. So if you are a team and you want to ask someone from your team to respond to the review, you can click on the little icon here and you select the name of the assignee. And then you can customize a message. So this person will receive a notification from you asking to respond to the review, or you can click on respond. Clicking on respond, you see we have some information. So we have the publisher, so where this review is coming from, the person, so the reviewer, and then we have date and time, and the entity, so for which entity this review is related to. As you can see here, this is the review, and what the review solution does, it's we basically highlight some keywords. You see different colors, and what the solution does is recognizing the feeling, the sentiment of these keywords. To make it simple, you will hear this word sentiment in the next slide as well, and during this presentation. But basically, a keyword like affordable, the solution recognizes very likely that it's a positive sentiment, affordable, while issue or undesirable issue, it's something not very positive. So it's in red because it is potential a negative feedback. And then if we scroll down, as you can see here, there's already a response that I haven't done, so I haven't made by myself right now. It's generated via AI. And to do so, you need to activate this feature that really allows you to save a lot of time. And we will see how to activate it. But basically, what the solution does, it recognizes the review. You provide inputs and instruction to the solution to respond to your customer. And whenever you're not satisfied about the response provided, you can click on the icon here. You see use AI to generate text. Clicking here, you have other options. For example, please translate this message in another language, or change the tone and make it more empathetic. And as you can see, this feature is loading, and it provides you with another text that you can always customize and add other words. And then you click on reply. How can you activate this feature? Very simple. You go into the configuration tab and you will have a generative response tab. Clicking here, you need to provide instruction to the system. So what do? Instruction could be use a kind and gentle tone, greet the reviewer by thanking them, keep the response to 3 or less sentences. I want to provide some instruction, and I want to tell the solution, for example, respond using the first name and last name initial, and be polite and be concise. So you see here, these are the instruction. If I want to try it out, I have another section here called Response Playground. And there's a test review, so an example of a review. Clicking on Run, you can use the instruction to respond to this review and do a test. So let's see what the review solution does. You see it responding with the name of the reviewer, which is correct, and it responding with the initial of the reviewer. Let's delete the last name initial, for example, and do not use the last name initial. And let's see if the generative AI response is recognizing my instruction. As you can see now, it's Hi Candice instead of Hi Candice he. You see? So we highly recommend you to play around. This will help you to be more efficient in responding to your customer, and and to save a lot of time. So we are good now. I don't know, Ashi, if you want to add any other information, or we can go back to the presentation.
I'm just going to do another quick knowledge check for everyone following the first demo. So thanks, Martina. Really,
Yeah.
really insightful, really helpful. And then if you wouldn't mind just keep sharing, and then when we go to the demo, I'll do the demo myself
Sure.
in the sentiment analysis. Awesome. Thank you. So next knowledge check for everybody. Question number 4. After Martina's first demo, what is the purpose of the reviews uh, okay, sorry. Review response tab. Sorry, everyone, I need to add that. What's the buzz of the reviews response tab? Is it to see all reviews that have been responded to see all the reviews that are awaiting a response, or is it to set up generative AI response? So what is the purpose of the reviews response tab? Yeah, not the monitoring tab, the response tab. Is it to see all the reviews that have been responded to see all reviews that are awaiting a response? Fantastic. Thanks, everyone. I'm going to end this and share the results with you. So the purpose of the reviews response tab is to see all the reviews that are awaiting a response. So the monitoring tab will show you reviews that are awaiting a response or have a response, and then the response tab allows you to go through and then basically just to go through and respond to all of those reviews that are new. Fantastic. Okay, so let's move on then to sentiment analysis. So this tool scans all of the customer reviews and feedback that have been received and provides you with some insights, really, okay, about what keywords are mentioned in those reviews. What are the most common keywords that are reoccurring all the time? And then relates them to sentiment. So you saw in Martina's demo just now, when you have a review, the system, uses natural language processing and is able to assign colors to those specific words. So red is obviously something negative, green is something positive. That's where it pulls all of the kind of sentiment and feeling and then relates them to specific nouns or keywords, okay? So before we go into the sentiment analysis section, I just want to clarify some terms here that are related to this. So firstly, you have entity, okay? If you joined our knowledge graph section, you know that an entity always relates to a physical primary object, okay? Reviews can be linked to this, okay? So an entity could be a shop, okay, one of your stores or one of your restaurants, and a review could be related to that. So you can filter to the sentiment for a specific entity. We then have folders. You can structure the folders as you wish, okay? Maybe you have certain, sub-brands, franchisees, maybe you want to do it in geographical locations, this is all our locations in the UK, this is everything in Germany. You can then track sentiment on that. We've also got labels. So these labels are specific tags that you can specify to a certain entity or multiple entities, okay, to make them easily identifiable. So you could have, for example, a label that you apply to all new entities that are new stores this year, because you want to track how the new stores are performing. And then we've got a keyword, right? So this is a common word or phrase found in those reviews that customers use to describe their specific experience. So if we look at then some key examples, an entity this is very American, burger bar or hot dog heaven, okay? So certain restaurant or shop. Folder, again, as I said, like could be a geographical region, so east versus west. Then we have a label, so new, franchisee, corporate, for example. You can choose those labels depending on your specific brand. And then keywords. So we've chosen this very general service, okay? And then you can see the specific modifiers, right? Fantastic service, that's positive. Lousy service is obviously quite negative. Terrible is obviously very negative. So um, this tool, here's a screenshot, okay, first of all, of what that looks like in your account, okay? So this helps you to quickly understand what customers are really saying in their specific reviews. So it will pull, first of all, on the left-hand side, you'll see some examples here. There's car park. That is one of those keywords, okay? You're then going to see sentiment. You see here on the screenshot, it says plus 26. That's something positive. And then you'll see the most common modifiers or adjectives, okay, that are being used to describe that certain keyword or that feature. So we've got car park, described as free, good, easy, huge, available, for example, okay? So another example of this could be, for example, the staff, okay? The staff was friendly, okay? Keyword here is staff, friendly, positive. The food was cold, yeah? Food, that's the keyword, cold being the modifier, that's negative. So by combining really these keywords related to your brand and these modifiers, it's going to give you a very clear picture of what your customers are saying, what they appreciate, what you can do better, right? What you can change. So this allows you really to identify definitely areas potentially for improvement, and then to take action to basically enhance that, improve on that. Okay. So Martina, I'm happy to just jump in and start sharing my screen. So the sentiment analysis screen can be found, if you go down here, it's going to be in one of the subtabs here, okay? So you'll see here, first of all, sentiment. All of those modifiers or adjectives will be given a score from plus 100 to minus 100. I think it's very self-explanatory. Plus 100 is obviously extremely positive. Minus 100 is therefore negative, okay? As I mentioned, you can filter here specifically. So if you wanted to drill down to the sentiment of a specific entity, location, restaurant, this is where you would do it here. Or if you wanted to filter to a specific folder, so you wanted to see, I don't know, all of the sentiment of your locations in Spain, okay, compared to those in the UK. And then also, as I mentioned, labels, do you have a set of new stores or restaurants or shops or whatever it is that have opened this year and you want to track how they're performing, okay? Always as well be aware of the time period here at the top. So the default is to the last 90 days, okay? So the last 3 months or so. And you can filter this. So you can see, okay, what was the sentiment, a few months ago compared to now? What's the actual current sentiment? So you're able to track as well the progress over specific time, okay? You see how much or how many times a certain word is mentioned. You can see all the different keywords, and then you can also filter to certain sites, okay? So if I scroll down, first of all, here you can see an overview of the kind of sentiment. So in this example here for our demo account, you're seeing really all of the different kind of words and everything that's being used really about, your specific brand. But then if you scroll down a little bit more, you're going to see what we saw on the screenshot earlier. So if I just scroll in a little bit more, okay, let's use the one refund, okay? So refund, okay, has been mentioned twice in the last 90 days. The sentiment is -5, okay? It's actually gone down. This shows the comparison, okay? And this has now been mentioned twice more than the previous 90 days. So you can also see, trends and fluctuations, okay? The average star rating of reviews that contain this word refund are 1 star, okay? And then you're going to see here the top modifiers. So full, okay, clearly we can, decipher this message wasn't allowed to get a full refund, okay? Then you can drill down and see particularly, what exactly happened. So I think really to give you a real use case here, particularly, let's take the word, I don't know, delivery. Okay, let's say you offer delivery. You would see the word delivery here. You can check the sentiment. Let's say it was negative as an example. You can see it's mentioned a lot, and you can see the average rating is maybe, I don't know, 2 stars. And if you look at the modifiers, delivery might be slow, complicated, something in this, something in this direction. That then allows you to kind of, review. Okay, oh, okay, so we're getting a lot of comments about our delivery. That's clear an opportunity for us to change. What are the current processes? Can we make it more efficient? Yeah. And then you can work with that specific, department or team within your specific brand to help improve that. Again, if I take another example, I know for restaurants, okay, we might have some restaurant businesses here. Let's take the word menu. Yeah. Menu. Modifier could be limited. Okay, our menu is quite limited. Do we want to potentially, offer more items on the menu, for example? Do we want to cater to more dietary kind of restrictions? So could we offer, I don't know, halal? Could we offer vegetarian? Could we offer vegan? Could we offer gluten-free? So it allows you to really kind of review yourself as a business, what customers are saying about you, and then apply really tangible, good actions to kind of improve that to make your business more obviously attractive. Okay. Then obviously on the other hand, because I know I've focused on a lot of a few negative things, but something could also be very positive. Yeah. Something could be really super positive. For example, customer service, friendly, efficient, helpful, polite, great. We've got really great customer service. Let's keep working on this. This is what our customers are saying about this. This is what we are. Yeah, this is how we are. Cool. Martin, I'm going to hand back to you if you don't mind to share the last
Sure.
few slides.
Let me share it.
Thank
You
you.
should see it now.
Fantastic.
Right.
Awesome. So just want to kind of summarize now really the benefits of the Yext Reviews solution. So the first one is impact on search visibility. So reviews are not just about customer perception, but they also directly impact how visible your specific brand locations are online, particularly also in search engines. So Google, for example, has 3 primary factors that it uses to determine local search ranking. The first one is distance, so how close that business is to the person who's searching. Relevance, how well the business, matches the search intent. If I search for restaurants near me, it's not going to show me, I don't know, clothes stores near me. But the last one, really key one, is called prominence. And this is related to how well known and trusted your business is online. Where do you think they pull prominence from? The reviews. Okay. Also, we're seeing with AI search engines, Perplexity, ChatGPT. When you ask, for example, ChatGPT, hey, can you recommend to me some good Italian restaurants in, I don't know, central London, for example, it's going and reading the reviews. The AI tool is just scanning all the reviews and saying, this is what people say about this restaurant, and this is what people say about this restaurant, right? Super, super, super important. Keywords in reviews are very, very, very impactful for your specific SEO and ranking. Okay. The other one as well is building consumer trust. Okay, so trust is everything. Yeah. Okay. We mentioned earlier, you also voted, we all read reviews before we, I don't know, go to a new restaurant or go to a new gym or, I don't know, go to a, I don't know, yoga studio or whatever it is. Okay. We're always reading these reviews before we validate our specific decision. So, responding to your customer reviews, yeah, you know, taking action on what they're saying builds credibility, yeah, with your potential customers and your existing customers. You can showcase also positive experiences. And it also, I think the most important thing, responding to those reviews, particularly as well those negative ones, yeah, you're listening and you're caring. Okay. I remember when I had my first job at a store in the high street of the town where I grew up. And I learned at 16 years old, the customer is always right. Yeah. Customer is always right. Okay. The next one is analyzing reviews, so operational insights. So we kind of are, touching this with the sentiment analysis and things, but you can identify, certain patterns, Are there recurring themes, recurring positive themes, recurring negative themes? You can spot potential issues early if you're seeing, there's been a slight increase in, I don't know, negative reviews regarding, some kind of service or product. You can, address that ASAP and, before it becomes bigger. You can look at, which products are more popular or negative, locations, etc., and be able to, take those specific decisions to really improve operations and customer satisfaction. And then Martina, yes, go on. The last one, obviously, revenue growth. Okay, so improving your review strategy not only boosts your specific brand reputation, but you're also influencing customer decisions at each step of the journey. So higher search rankings, you responding to reviews is so important and so good for SEO, for ranking. Okay. Google, for example, loves it. It loves seeing a business that responds to reviews. Okay. Having your, business locations ranking higher leads to obviously potentially more clicks, visits. Okay. Can also encourage other customers to choose you over your competitors. And then, these potential customers, actually interacting with your brand's presence online, whether that is on the listings or pages or whatever, can lead to more sales and bookings because they're going to see consistent positive feedback. They're going to feel more confidence in you, and then they're going to click potentially on those, those CTAs, those call to actions where they're going to maybe reserve a table or buy a product, for example. Okay, so reviews also are really a key driver of revenue because they're all about your customers. We need customers to generate revenue. Yeah. So you can turn really visibility into action and action into business growth. So I think, Martina, we have another quick knowledge check. I know we're nearly at time. Awesome. So responding to reviews, even reviews without a comment, okay, and only a star rating can improve SEO and increase consumer trust. Is this statement true or false? Responding to reviews, even reviews without a comment, and only a star rating can improve SEO and increase consumer trust. And I think, Martin, you can end that because everyone's voted. Clearly, it was very, very, very clear. Yes, the answer is absolutely true. 100%. Please, please, please do it. So, here is the path to becoming a customer-centric brand. Okay, these are our recommendations for you. Firstly, okay, ensure that you listen to your customers. Read the reviews that they're submitting. Focus on the keywords, focus on the message, use sentiment analysis, identify areas that are doing well and you should keep doing well, and areas for improvement. Do not ignore bad reviews or negative reviews. Respond. That is the best advice we give everyone. Respond. Yeah. Be polite, be professional, show those customers and potential customers that you care about that person's opinion. Okay. You can use AI to help you generate that response. Yeah. Martina showed you how you can set that up. And then lastly, as well, is ask for feedback. Asking for feedback via an email campaign, SMS campaign, whatever it is, can give you really more deeper insights. Okay, because first-party reviews tend to be more detailed, right? You tend to target customers that have been potentially recently to your business and had a recent experience, so that it's fresh in their mind. Yeah. This can help with improved search rankings. So you could also target specific keywords. Yeah. If you've recently, I don't know, launched a new product or you've launched a new food menu item, ask customers to review it. That really helps as well with search. If someone's looking for a certain new product, your business is then going to reference that, okay, and show up in those results. And of course, increased trust. Okay, so first-party reviews also provide social proof. They provide or demonstrate to potential customers that others have used and valued your business's products and services. So I know we're nearly at time. I know we're nearly there. We've just got a few more slides to go. Okay, the action items for you to do from today's session. So firstly, enable the generative AI response feature by adding prompts. Martina's shown you some, okay, earlier. Please do set that up. Such an efficient way for you to get responses out. And what we'd recommend as well is to identify 3 negative reviews, okay, that your brand has received, and use the AI to respond. Yeah, it will really help you. Use the prompts, and don't forget that after, you can always test it, and after testing, If you're not happy with the result, you can change the prompts. But then, as Martina showed, when you've got all your prompts and you're happy with the prompts and you go to respond to a real review and it generates the text, you can always click on the button again and give it some further prompts directly in the tool. Okay. So it's a really, really great, efficient way for you to respond to customer reviews. And then lastly, okay, pick out potentially 3 keywords that you're seeing are a little bit negative, yeah, and really use that as a focus, as a room for improvement. What can you do to maybe improve those specific keywords that have been identified as maybe, not working the best? And I think there we have one last knowledge check quiz. And I'm just going to launch this now. Oh, there. Thank you, Martina. So which of the following are good examples of generative AI prompts that you could set up in Yext Reviews? Always reply in the same language as the review. Always address the reviewer by their first name when available. Keep responses polite, professional, and under 150 words. Or when responding to a 5-star review, thank the customer and highlight one key strength they mentioned. This is multiple choice, okay? What are the following examples or good examples of generative AI prompts you could set up in Yext Reviews? And all of you absolutely right. Martina, if you want to share, every single one of them. Yes, every single one of them is a great example of setting up generative AI responses. Cool. So that was our 4th webinar this month in terms of the Platform Basics series. Tomorrow, we're doing our last Platform Basics series webinar. That is where we're going to show you a beginner's guide to Yext Analytics. Okay, so really encourage you, if you haven't, to join that as well. That will be tomorrow. And then, as usual, the help. I believe the next slide is the help center, Martina. If you've got any questions, you can't think of one now, but you got one later. We do have a help center at help@yext.com full of resources and articles for you. We've also got a YouTube channel as well with some helpful videos. But of course, you can always reach out to us at help@yext.com should you have any specific questions as well. And that will create a ticket with our support team.
I am actually adding in the chat the registration link for the webinar we have tomorrow. If anyone is interested, you should be able to see in the chat if you can confirm.
Thanks, Martina. I've also seen a great question here from someone.
Good.
So it says, or a comment actually, and it says, I would like for reviews to pull from publishers a little faster. It can take up to a week to appear in the platform. Okay, so regarding this, if your business receives a lot of reviews, right, and I'm talking potentially hundreds, within a short space of time, the system needs time via the API to be able to pull those into the tool. Okay, so the normal time for reviews to be pulled into Yext from those third-party sites is within that time period that we've said, that 48 hours. However, if there's been a high volume of reviews, okay, within a short space of time, what the system does is it does one backup scan every 7 days. So that's where you might see reviews being pulled in a little bit later, okay? But it all really comes down to the actual volume of reviews that you're receiving. If you're getting a lot of reviews, it's fantastic, okay? But great feedback. I can give this to our product team, but I will just say, might not be a quick fix. Really depends again on the amount of reviews that you're actually receiving. How many is a lot of reviews in this instance? So honestly, hundreds. It could potentially also be thousands. Okay, if you're seeing it's taking a week for 2 reviews to pull in, I would really recommend reaching out to our support team, because that might be a cause or an issue related to something else. Okay, but very valid feedback. Very glad, or very good that you've raised that. Thank you. Okay, I'm not sure if we've got any further questions, in which case potentially we can end this now. We're nearly on time, which is great. Thank you everyone again for joining today's session. Apologies for the tech issues at the beginning of the session as well. Happens sometimes, I'm sure you know, with technology. But just one last request from us. Please do fill out the survey. These webinars are new. Um, we'd love your feedback. What are we doing great? What can we do differently? But also, we want to introduce new topics. So although analytics is our last one for the month, we want to do new topics. What would you like to learn about? Please tell us, because we want to help you and build content for that. So your feedback is extremely, extremely valuable.